Hi, I'm Rocky Draws, and in my opinion, Alex's Caves is one of, if not the best Minecraft mod ever. And in my past 4 videos in this series, I have been exploring the mobs from the mod as Fakémon. So, continuing that, today we will be looking at the mobs from the Forlorn Hollows as Fakémon. Starting off with the Glue Moth, I decided to make it a 3-stage bug line. So, of course, we started with the Caterpillar stage. With this form, I wanted it to be similar to the caterpillars that have false eyes on their back or head to scare away predators. And I also wanted to make it generally creepy while still making sure it looked like it could be your friend. This is Caterpie, the eye Pokemon, whose name comes from caterpillar and eye. Caterpie are overall defenseless Pokemon, so they possess eye-like patterns on their backs, which tricks predators into believing that Caterpie can see them. Caterpie's shiny makes it go from creepy to cute, and also references the biome that it won against, the Candy Cavity. For the second stage of this Pokemon, I took inspiration from the blocks that you find in the Forlorn Hollows that have holes with eyes in them, and that was about it. Here is Metamorphi, the eye Pokemon, whose name comes from metamorphosis and eye. In this cocoon state, Metamorphi are almost indistinguishable from the cave walls and ground. The only real way to spot them is through their eyes. Its shiny looks like that for the same reason that Caterpie's shiny looks the way it does. For Caterpie's third and final stage, it finally turns into the moth and actually looks like the Glue Moth mob. This is also one of the rare times where a Pokemon facing forward in its art actually fits. Here is Glue Moth, the eye Pokemon, whose name comes from gloom and moth, and it's also just the normal name for the mob because it fits pretty well already. Glue Moth are one of the only rare forms of light available in the Forlorn Hollows. This leads to them being at the bottom of the food chain, and often preyed on by many insectivorous Pokemon. And you already know why Glue Moth's shiny looks like that. Next up is my personal favorite of the Fakémon designs in this video, and it's based on the Underzealot. And really, the main reason why is just because I was able to make it work really well with the Pokemon art style. And if you squint, it looks just like a real Pokemon. Also, I love the name I came up with, and that name is Richimole, the mole Pokemon, whose name comes from ritual and mole. Richimole are very curious creatures. When they encounter certain Pokemon, they can make them reach their full potential. Its shiny is white and blue because it just looks good. So, next up was the Watcher, which is in the mod created by the Underzealots taking a Glue Moth and then doing the Macarena or whatever this is. So, I wanted this one to look similar to the Glue Moth, at least in its face, which looks like a Glue Moth super glued to the front. Here is Viewmoth, the watching Pokemon, whose name comes from view and moth. And its name also sounds similar to Glue Moth. And to those saying that a Pokemon's name can't just be 2 words glued together, number 1, this Pokemon is just 2 Pokemon glued together, and number 2, Talonflame. Some people claim to have witnessed the creation of the Viewmoth, claiming that it was the work of a Richimole. And though it sounds crazy, it's the best that Pokemon professors have to go off of. Its shiny looks like that for the same reason as the Richimole. Now, give me one word to describe this creature. Ugly, yucky, rat, fat, cat in a hat. I decided to take these words as a challenge and tried making Corrodent as cute as possible because I felt like it. And I'd say I did that pretty well. This is Corrodent, the corroding Pokemon, whose name comes from corrosion and rodent, and it's also just the name of the normal mob. Corrodent are known for destroying wooden buildings by chewing through the wood. This has made them a nuisance in their region. Corrodent shiny has a blue eye to reflect the true goodness in their heart, and it's totally not because I got really lazy and annoyed because Ibis Paint kept crashing. Our last Pokemon is based on the Vesper, the little bat guy, and I first made an entire design, and I'm pretty sure I even got to the coloring stage before thinking it looked like crap and scrapping the design, but I made a much better design that I forgot the ears on, but it's fine, because it's the small form of the full legendary. Here is Small Terrabat, the terrifying Pokemon. I know, right? Look and horror. Terrabat's name comes from terrifying, terrible, and bat. Terrabat typically hang above the cave ceiling, feasting on roots and other plant matter they can find. It's said, however, that they can be turned into huge monsters when transformed by the ritual, but most believe that this is just folklore or stories. Its shiny is based on fruit bats. Our next and final design is the hunter form of the Vesper, which is based on the Forsaken. And, though you might not see it in the speed paint, I had a lot of trouble with making the nose, because weirdly enough, the Forsaken's design has a taller and wider nose than the bottom jaw. What? Why did I write that in the script? Makes it look like a bat sperm whale. What? What? I wrote the script like a week ago. Okay. Here is Terrabat, Hunter form. I personally am proud of the design, and I hope you guys like it too. So, that was the end of the video, and as usual, if you liked it, please consider liking, subscribing, and hitting that bell icon so you get notified whenever I post a new video. Anyways, bye!